Your mind will be blown by this one video. It is common knowledge that the trial between Ripple and the SEC is drawing to a close, yet what many people fail to fully see is the significance of this moment on a worldwide scale. More than 4 years have passed since Ripple began their struggle for legal clarification, and now they are finally on the verge of achieving their goal. It is possible that this is the most positive signal in the history of the cryptocurrency environment. For XRP, analysts are projecting tremendous growth, with some predicting that it will reach $500 per coin, others saying that it will reach $10,000, and some even speculating that it may reach a startling $60,000 per coin. Does that sound crazy? You are far closer than you believe, so don't waste a single second and let's get started. As a brief disclaimer, here it is. A defining moment is drawing near in the protracted legal dispute that Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission have been engaged in for quite some time. After a number of years of legal back and forth, there is a growing amount of conjecture that a significant breakthrough could be just a few days away. The United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has issued an order requiring the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to provide a status report to the court by the 16th of June. This deadline was established in April following a short delay in the appellate proceedings. Bill Morgan, a well-known attorney who supports XRP, brought to our attention the fact that as the 60-day deadline draws near, it is quite probable that we will witness either additional filing deadlines or a totally other legal development. In a tweet that was extensively disseminated around the cryptocurrency community, he stressed the importance of the situation. There are certain voices in the community, such as Abraham Lem, who have even gone so far as to firmly predict that the issue would be resolved on June 16th. Within the XRP community, the atmosphere is charged with excitement. This is not only another file for the correct procedure, it's possible that this will be the deciding factor. XRP Avengers, a well-known influencer in the industry, issued a warning to their followers, advising them to be prepared for the announcement that the SEC will conclude the XRP case. When that occurs, you will no longer be able to afford further XRP. This may sound theatrical, but it is a perfect representation of the tremendous hope that many people in the community have. If the lawsuit were to have a positive outcome, it would be more than simply a legal triumph. It would also send a message to the rest of the world that XRP has regulatory clarity in the United States, which is a status that, to tell you the truth, very few other crypto assets can claim. On the other hand, not everyone is willing to acknowledge that we are that near. The absence of fresh substantive filings, as pointed out by attorney Andrew Balfour of Holland & Knight, is indicative of the possibility that there are still issues that have not been resolved beneath the surface. On the other hand, Carrie Axel, who works for Waymaker LLP, believes that the halt marks the beginning of fruitful negotiations for a settlement, which might potentially pave the way for its conclusion. Things became even more confusing when a non-party, Justin Kinnear, made fresh documents relating to the case. This added a new twist to an already complicated legal drama, which was already filled with complications. In spite of the lack of confidence, the significance of the present moment cannot be understated. Ripple's case has become emblematic of the larger regulatory debate that is taking on in the United States, and the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has endured criticism for its inconsistent stance on crypto regulation. If the report that was released on June 16th has any indications of a resolution, this might not only mark the beginning of a new chapter for Ripple and XRP, but it could also possibly redefine crypto regulation in general. Ripple would be relieved of a significant weight that has been hanging over their heads since the year 2020 if they were to prevail in this dispute. It has the potential to open up institutional collaborations, payment network acceptance, and global utility on a scale that has never been seen before for holders of XRP. It is now official that the countdown has begun, and regardless of whether you are optimistic or pessimistic, the next few days have the potential to completely transform the future of cryptocurrency. Without a doubt, the buzz in the cryptocurrency world is really loud. The analysts are not only optimistic, rather they are confident that XRP is on the verge of exploding. It was eloquently summed up in a tweet that Us.Thankx sent out. Before it goes off, XRP will not give you any warnings. You will just observe. The speed and unpredictability of XRP's movements is brought into sharper focus by this. Others, such as Steph, a well-known figure in the cryptocurrency industry, are of the opinion that XRP is on the verge of seeing a parabolic price increase. XRP Dragon went on to say that the majority of investors have spent so much time waiting that they would sell in a panic around $3 or $5. But what is his own target? A staggering $500 being paid for each XRP. XRP is expected to hit $9,986 bond, according to Crypto Geek, a prominent cryptocurrency influencer, while Jack the Ripper has predicted that it would rise to 10,000. It is possible that these forecasts are unreasonable, but in a market that is driven by mood, legislation and network utility, there is nothing that cannot be considered. And then there's the mystery item that Forbes published for a short time before removing it almost immediately. which predicted that the price of XRP will reach 59,472 per coin. Its presence was also verified by artificial intelligence chatbots from Google Bard and Microsoft Bing before it vanished, which fueled conjecture that either its shock value or pressure from the outside community was responsible for its removal. It is apparent that the confluence of legal resolution and institutional enthusiasm is occurring, despite the fact that grandiose price estimates are seldom confirmed, and the cryptocurrency market is extremely unpredictable. If Ripple is successful, it might set off a surge of adoption that is unlike anything we have ever seen before. In addition, the whales are aware of it. XRP whales have amassed more than 900 million tokens, which currently have a value of about $2 billion according to the leading analyst Ali Martinez. This accumulation occurred in just the past month. Around 13% of the total supply is now in this group's control, which is equivalent to around 7.77 billion XRP with a value of more than 17 billion. The aggressive acquisition of such things is almost never random. In general, whales are known to act on more profound discoveries, and the fact that they continue to buy sends a strong statement. There is going to be a significant event. The notion that Ripple has made an offer to purchase Circle, the company that is responsible for issuing the USDC stablecoin, is adding fuel to the fire of this supposition. There were initial rumors that suggested an offer of between $4 and $5 billion, which was purportedly refused. However, there are others who are insiders who feel that Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse may have followed up with an offer of $20 billion, which would be a move that would be seismic if it were real. If Ripple were to purchase Circle, it would immediately gain ownership of one of the stablecoins that is used the most often all around the world. The ecosystem of XRP is being significantly expanded, and institutional trust and utility are both significantly rising. Within the context of the market, the buildup of whales reduces the amount of accessible supply, which in turn creates upward pressure on prices. This conduct, when placed in conjunction with institutional interest and the possibility of big acquisitions, indicates that long-term bullish expectations are being held. There are indications that indicate to a moment of strategic accumulation, and the intelligent money is currently positioning itself. Now let's speak about the global financial system. Ripple is not only engaged in a legal conflict, but it is also laying the groundwork for the future of distributed payments throughout the world. XRP was recently given a public endorsement by Deutsche Bank in a research paper, which also included a clear connection to the regulation of markets in crypto assets in Europe, which is scheduled to take effect in 2025. This may completely change the game. MiCA provides clarity in the legal system of the European Union, and XRP is an ideal candidate for the role of utility token in accordance with this law. On the other hand, in contrast to Bitcoin and Ethereum, which do not have a central issuer and are thus not included in the scope of MiCA, XRP is completely in line with the new legal framework. It is therefore the token of choice for European institutions who are searching for assets that comply with regulations. According to Deutsche Bank, more transparent regulations would encourage business adoption, which will ultimately result in an increase in pricing. This is not a matter of conjecture, rather it is a significant change. XRP is being watched by institutions, and they are prepared to take action. Institutions are no longer sitting on the sidelines. XRP has the potential to become a fundamental asset in global finance if it is able to capitalize on the synergy that exists between Ripple's legal achievements in the United States, MiCA's successes in the European Union, and the rising interest from financial titans. Ripple's payment solutions are already being utilized by more than 100 banks all around the world. Clarity in the law and consistent currency power are added. The financial sector is on the verge of experiencing a revolution. XRP is poised on the brink of a historic breakthrough. The legal cloud is lifting. Institutions are lined up, whales are purchasing in bulk, and the XRP army is watching intently. This is all due to the accumulation of whales, the endorsements of institutions, the victories of regulatory agencies, and the crazy forecasts that have been made. It is now a straightforward question. Where do you stand? Please share your ideas with me in the comments section. Is your outlook on XRP bullish? Do you think the forecast of $10,000 may be accurate, or do you think